Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. It's pretty chilly here this morning. We're down in the teens. No white stuff on the ground, but there are some places it's getting snow further away. I spoke with my daughter this morning as she was getting ready for work. She lives over in northeastern Tennessee, up there in the very, very little corner, and she had to go to work in some snow. But it's cold. It's actually a little colder here than it is over there. We're dry here. So I don't know if I'm throwing this out there to just be funny or what. There's been all these drones and these unidentified aerial phenomena, UFOs. The Senate, U.S. Senate's been doing these hearings on the UFOs and aliens. Are they real and all this kind of stuff. Today has been predicted as an alien invasion. So then this is not the video, so don't roll your eyes too much, because there's a little bit of humor in here. So apparently, and I'm not going to go into all the historical detail, but an early AI web bot back in like 2009 predicted, sorta, that today would be an alien invasion. So basically what it was saying is that back in 2009, it said that like so many days after Joe Rogan interviews Donald Trump, there'll be an alien invasion. And so today marks that many days after Joe Rogan had interviewed Donald Trump before the election. I wouldn't get too upset about it or worried or anything. This web bot thing, and I can't remember the guy, Cliff High or something like that was the guy that developed it. And it has accurately predicted things, but more often than not, it's been very inaccurate. So, but the internet is a buzz about it. Everybody's waiting for the alien invasion, and what they don't realize is that we have an alien invasion happening every day in this country on the southern border. But that's not as cool and as exciting. Donald Trump, I don't know. I'm 100% sure this was a joke or his way of just being funny, but a lot of people are also kind of taking it serious that he said that we should make Canada the 51st state of the United States. So apparently, he'd recently in the last couple of days met with Justin Trudeau, and there's pictures of him all smiles and thumbs up and everything together, which is awkward, weird. I thought he was the other side. Who knows? I don't know what's going on. Nobody really does anymore. But so apparently Justin Trudeau told Trump that these high tariffs could destroy Canada, and Trump was like, well, that's fine, we'll just make you the 51st state and I'll make you the governor of it. I'm not really interested. The only positive thing that I can think of, nothing against you Canadians, the only positive thing I could think of is that if I ever want to go up to Alaska, I could very easily take firearms with me to Alaska. As it is now, you have to either go by boat or cross through Canada, and you can take your guns with you to Alaska, but it's a little complicated. It's not like just going from Missouri to Arkansas. So I guess that would be a positive thing. But other than that, I think it's a little silly. In other news, the trade tariff wars, they've already started, right? Trump saying that he's raising tariffs on certain things or certain countries, all of the BRICS countries, all that stuff going back and forth. China today, or yesterday, I guess it was, they announced that they were going to stop exporting to the United States several different rare earth minerals. And this is something I've been warning about. I know that there's a lot of people, well, China's economy is in worse shape than ours. They're not as big as economically as the United States, or they're dependent upon the United States for their exports. Everything they make has to be shipped and sold somewhere else, or they may have a big military, but they're not really they don't have all the training and experience on. There's definitely a lot of truth to a lot of that stuff. I mean, China is the second largest economy, and they're really growing big in areas like Africa and India and stuff like that. But the big thing with China is, I think, is that they own and control the vast majority of the world's rare earth minerals and all these various components that's used to make technology. It's about 60% of the rare earth minerals they own, and about 90% total they control. So they manage it for other countries, and this is a big deal. Also, there's a lot of stuff. As much as I hate getting stuff from China. I hate having to buy things because there are just some things you can't find an American-made product of it. I don't like it at all. But the reality is that there's a lot of stuff, and it may not be directly coming from China. It may be components or whatever. As this trade tariff stuff increases, you need to get seriously ready with your preparations. Your food is number one. There's just like a gut feeling, like kind of looking out on the horizon. I typed into my AI WebBot thing, and it tells me this. I'm just joking. That's not true at all. But when you look at like the H5N1 stuff and where it's attacking the chickens and the cows and the dairy and all that kind of stuff, and they're getting rid of a lot of that. Just the stuff going on around the world, and then especially with China, I think food is gonna. I think it's gonna be serious. I think we're gonna see food inflation start to happen, and I don't think it's gonna be anything that the Fed can control or Donald Trump can control. And I could be completely wrong on this, but I think we need to pay serious attention to when it comes to our food. So your preparations, how much food do you have stored, and then how much food you're producing, because you can only store so much. And food storage is great for surviving, but it's not really great for thriving, because no matter how you store food, you're losing nutrition. You're not going to be, if you're eating just stored food that you've stored for the last 5 years, you're most likely not eating all the nutrition that you need. It's enough to keep you alive, but it's not to keep you really healthy. And so you need to be paying very close attention to that and making plans to produce food, not just food, but healthy food and herbs and meat and all that kind of stuff. Because I don't know, I may be completely off on this, but I really think that the future outlook on this in this area when it comes to food is not really good, and I think we need to take it seriously. What I think has happened, this is just my personal opinion, is that over the last 4 to 5 years now, especially in the beginning, like the early parts of COVID and stuff, we saw people rushing out to the store, and there was this big hype that it was going to get really bad, especially with food, and we've seen inflation. I think people panicked early on. They were ahead of the curve. And for some of us that have this long-term vision of what's going on, that understand that this is a long game that we're playing, that's fine. But the majority of people, they're living in the moment. They're not really focused and thinking about long-term ahead. And so they peaked too early on, and now they've fizzled out. Now they've lost the steam, and they're not paying attention to it. And this large amount of food supply that they purchased 3 or 4 years ago, they've been eating on it, and so now it's not really that big, and all that kind of stuff. And so I think that over the next year or two, we could definitely see some pretty serious crises when it comes to food. And maybe not, but it's just when you're looking at a lot of these factors, it's indicative of potential crisis in that area of shortages, or not having access in whatever way that is. And so I would be very serious, if I were you, evaluating your food storage conditions, your food production, how much food can you produce, all that kind of stuff. Because the trade wars, the tariff wars, and there's going to be other things. It's not just food. It's going to be other things that's going to could potentially be in short supply. Obviously technology, because that's the first thing I think that China's going to go for. But food is going to be really important, and we need to be taking that serious. So it's kind of a lull right now. I mean, definitely there's stuff in the news, but the reality of what's affecting you and I is actually pretty good right now. And there's sales, you know. This is, whether you celebrate it or not, you know, Christmas is in what, 3 weeks now? And so there's a lot of things that are going to be on sale food wise, getting people to buy for Christmas. And you may not do Christmas, you may celebrate it, it doesn't matter. But it's a good time of the year to stock up on certain food items, because some things are going to just be on sale. And, you know, it's kind of like stuff on sale for Black Friday, or, you know, whatever, or for Christmas. You know, again, you may not do Christmas, but hey, if something's on sale and it's what you need, it's a good time to buy it. So I would be thinking about that, because, like I said, the stuff that's happening, I think there is. And then if we do end up in a big world war, that's just going to exacerbate all of it even more. So be planning and preparing for that. And then, like I said, also be working on your plans for when the grow-in season starts. You need to be producing food then too. Folks, it's time to get your houses in order and to prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.